If you are the type of listener who is really into bars, double, triple entendres, and just technical rhyming in general, then it likely doesn't get any better for you than the duo of Joell Ortiz and Kxng Crooked. What's good, y'all? It's your boy Mixtape Muff. Please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button, as all of that is greatly appreciated and helpful to this channel. But today, I'm going to hit y'all with my thoughts on this new project from Kxng Crooked and Joell Ortiz entitled Prosper. This is the second release from the dynamic duo of Kxng Crooked and Joell Ortiz of 2023. It follows their JFK LAX EP, which came out at the very beginning of the year. But back in 2022, they had dropped two full-length releases, their most recent being Harbor City Season 1. A project with a dope collection of songs, but it was weighed down by some filler. Fortunately though, this time around on their new effort, Prosper, they have narrowed down the track list to just 10 songs with a runtime of 30 minutes. They also recruited similar producers like Hasami, Agony, and the Heatmakerz, and added in some newer names like BeatStars, Isel Beats, Hado, and Ayo Berg. But with that being said, let me go ahead and just hit y'all with this track-by-track breakdown. This thing opens with the punchy The Tale of Two Cities, which has a triumphant backdrop from Hasami. I do enjoy the energy of this opening song. Both are putting on for their respective hoods. That's BK to the LBC. Joell raps, I would sit on the pier with instrumentals in my ear, not knowing that pain would end up instrumental in my career. I just wanted to be better than my peers. While Kxng Crooked gives us a history lesson in West Coast hip hop, letting us know that G-Funk is the national treasure on the West. He also makes it a point to school Clark Kent in response to Clark Kent not believing that The Chronic is a classic. I mean, Clark Kent was bugging there. Track 2 still has somewhat of a bouncy West Coast instrumental that's a bit generic, and it's easily my least favorite instrumental on this project. The Kendrick / JID inspired hook was also a bit cringy, but despite my gripe with the hook and this instrumental, they are really rapping here, coming through with some slick one-liners and quotables. Joell has some mind-bending wordplay, and Kxng Crooked spits some true-to-life facts. Kxng Crooked states, "You just want me to freestyle. Nah, that ain't the style I'm on, because everything you get for free, you put no value on. They love you underground, and they hate you, because now you on." That sounds about accurate. Track 3, Dodgers 2, contains what sounds like the same sample from the original. As a whole, it's a smooth grown man vibe that I don't really have any complaints with. Both have solid verses, but Joell's imagery of Project Living definitely stood out. Hanger stuck in the TV, a fuzzy Arsenio while the neighbor was braiding my fro. Following this is War Outside, where we get a change in pace instrumentally. Now this is an aggressive banger with hi-hats. That did remind me somewhat of that post-Killer Season Cameron era production, but I still found this beat to just be serviceable. The energy in the bars were on point though, thankfully, and Kxng Crooked states, "I put being poor in the clouds, I put poverty on a t-shirt." Then Joell Ortiz has some dope braggadocio like clout chasing, y'all gotta quit that. All the real money is silent. You dudes busting down wallets, me and my dudes bust down islands. But track 5, Sunroof, probably has the best beat on this project. This has a warm, tribal-like instrumental from the Heatmakerz that is consistent with their recent production sound. Joell has a clever mafioso-like reference. "Half a kilo on the table when I'm at casinos. The word casino always makes me think of Al Pacino. I confused De Niro, but you must admit that that was that heat though." And Joell, you're definitely not alone, because I feel I've heard conversations with other folks who thought that Al Pacino was in Casino. And Kxng Crooked brought that raw West Coast flavor to this record, talking about, "Where I'm from, dudes be sliding to Anita Baker." So altogether, this was one of the standouts. Immediately after is the track Prosper, where we get some mellow soul production that doesn't disappoint. This record is like their victory lap since they overcame those hard times, and I feel both Joell and Kxng Crooked really went off performance-wise. But Kxng Crooked had an ill line comparing him and Joell to Rakim and DJ Quick. Next is w.i.f.e Sniper, a Kxng Crooked solo that I didn't necessarily love, respectfully. So while I did like the slick guitar groove, there was something about the hook that felt very Ab-Soul inspired, but it was funny. He said, eating pussy while I'm laying on my stomach like a sniper, but it's also cringy. Yeah, something about this record just seemed a little off to me. Right after, though, we get the Joell Ortiz solo track, w.i.f.e, which might contain my second favorite instrumental. I liked the endearing soul chops and the jazzy horns, and here Joell talks about how he had to abandon his player ways to find the true love of his life, which is his wife. But yeah, this has a real mature, smooth, grown man vibe that works. The second and last song is the feel-good record Black Tie Affair. Now, this was backed by some West Coast boom bap. They had a jazzy flair. We get some boastful bars from the two where they are toasting to the good life. Joell Ortiz states, "Nah, I ain't Hollywood, I'm just acting up." And this project wraps up with No More, produced by the Heatmakerz, and it has a very suave 70s styled soul instrumental that I did enjoy, as well as the back in the day Ahmad interpolation on the hook. That was pretty cool. They are now at this point, in their respective careers where they are just sick of being humble. So they are going to talk their talk and just continue to prosper. Altogether, I've found this to be one of the highlights and a strong way to close out the album. So overall, I'm going to give this project a rating of 3.5 mics. I'd probably say the lyrics were a 4 to a strong 4, while the production was just at about a 3 for me. As always with Kxng Crooked and Joell, I did enjoy the impressive wordplay, the entendres, and just the sharp flows throughout. The witty and thoughtful quotables were definitely in abundance too. I also liked that the track list wasn't as bloated as Harbor City Season 1, but still, I did feel the production was lacking just a bit. Now, look, don't get me wrong. There were some tracks that were well produced, but other ones made it more challenging for me to just get into the songs in general, despite the duo's dope performances on the mic. My favorite tracks include Tale of Two Cities, Sunroof, Prosper, w.i.f.e, Black Tie Affair, and No More. But let me know what you thought about this project in the comment section. It's your boy Mixtape Moth. I'm signing out. But as always, it's peace and blessings. Kxng Crooked, Joell Ortiz, Prosper, one.